How's it going, Star Wars fans? D23 has brought us the official trailer for Tales of the Jedi and the release date, which is October 26th. And all the episodes will be released on that date as well, so it won't be no weekly thing. Alright, so right off the bat, we see Padme at her funeral, and we know now that Ahsoka was there at her funeral, and as we see her in a later shot with her hood up. So here we see young Ahsoka using the Force to tame this animal. And this animated series or shorts, I believe they're only about 10 to 15 minutes long. And there's going to be about, there will be 6 episodes in total. And they're supposed to focus on the stories of Ahsoka and Count Dooku, which I think is going to be very interesting. Especially Dooku, because a lot of his story hasn't been told on screen yet. So that'll be pretty nice to see. And the animation in this trailer looks looks very good, and it was created by Dave Filoni. So I think this show is gonna be really something to watch. All right, so next we see Ahsoka, and Anakin is training her with a couple of clone troopers, and yeah, it's gonna be awesome to see them two back together on screen once again as well. So yeah, here we see Dooku and young Qui-Gon. And it's gonna be pretty cool to see how their master and apprentice relationship is gonna play out in this show. Here we see a nice shot of Anakin, and this is the scene where he's training Ahsoka. And yeah, it's just gonna be awesome to see them back together again. Here's Mace Windu and Dooku, and my boy Mace, he hasn't aged a day, and yeah, I don't know what kind of cream he's using for his face, but I need to get some of that. And it looks like they're on some mission or something off-world, and by the looks of it, it gets a little out of hand. And Dooku is just about to kill this guy. And in this next picture, Mace tells him to stand down. So yeah, a little conflict between the two there. We'll see how that all plays out. Here's Ahsoka, but there's a time gap between these two training scenes, like the one that was earlier, and this one because the first shot was just Phase 1 clone troopers, so that would have been, fairly early on in the Clone Wars. And here, from the trailer, you can see that they're Phase 2 501st troopers in this shot in the background. And this scene here, this she does that flip spin that she does in Season 7 of the Order 66 scene with all the clone troopers shooting at her. And I think it's pretty much the same move that she does, and yeah, I just kind of thought it was a pretty cool little parallel there between the two. So yeah, so here we see Ahsoka, and this is the shot of her with the hood up, and here she's at Padme's funeral, which is on Coruscant. And you can't leave out my little green friend and Obi-Wan looking like Jesus himself. And not really much going on in this picture, but you know, it's Obi-Wan. So we had to show a picture of him in there. And yeah, here we see Dooku and at the Jedi and what I believe is Yaddle's funeral. And yes, we do get to see Yaddle in this little show, but I'm pretty sure he ends up dying to Count Dooku because this shot here looks like from the background you can kind of tell it looks like the same place Dooku would meet up with Palpatine on Coruscant to talk about things. And yeah, it seems like Yaddle must find out what Dooku's been up to and confronts him. And yeah, it doesn't look too good for Yaddle. And here we see there's also going to be an Inquisitor that appears in the show. And this, of course, would be later on, after the Clone Wars, because there's like time gaps in between these stories there. So yeah, I imagine like every episode must be like a time gap or something like that, maybe. We'll just see how it plays out. So yeah, there's an Inquisitor that comes up in the show and that faces off with Ahsoka at some point. And yeah. So the show is focused on Ahsoka and Dooku, and the show seems like it's gonna jump around with the timeline a little bit to tell both their stories, and I'm all here for it. It seems like it's gonna be awesome. It'll be nice to have this in October there since Bad Batch got moved to January 4th. So yeah, that's all I wanted to break down in this vid, and stay tuned for more Star Wars stuff, and have a great day. Peace.